Hello, hello. We are on day 3. We are talking about Operation TimeSuck, how to multiply your time. I am so excited to have you here. We've got a lot of fun stuff in store today. I will finally be sharing all of the details of our well-oiled operations program as well. I know we've been getting lots of questions. We've got people already jumping on consults to learn more. I'm going to break down absolutely everything you need to know, you want to know, what it includes, all of the things. Okay. So let's jump into today. What's today going to be about? So, first of all, yesterday we did a deep dive on well oiled strategic planning and well oiled leadership. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're thinking, what's going on, what's coming up for you. And then today we're covering my favorite. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Richard just said, is there sound? Can everybody just give me a yes? You can hear me in the chat. And if it's just Richard, maybe come out and come in. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. Somebody tell Richard to come out and come back in. Okay, so we're covering well-oiled systems, which is literally my favorite. I just wrapped up VIP for today. And I will tell you that a lot of the questions they had or they were struggling with came down to a system, right? I was like, okay, listen, you're going to love today. This is what we're talking about. Okay, good. So, what I was telling them is like, I don't do boring systems. I create money making systems, and you are about to as well. I'm going to talk about that all day today. How our systems are like, I taught somebody something in VIP, and she was like, oh, I totally see how that would make us a lot of money. Right. And this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. A lot of people are leaving money on the table, but they're looking elsewhere. Okay. So, today we're going to finish the formula. All right, but we aren't done. So we do have 2 additional days coming up for those that are loving it. It's for everybody. It's not just for VIP. VIP will still have their extra days, but tomorrow and Friday is for everybody. So tomorrow is a big day. We're going to cover how to let go for cash flow. And I really like to mix mindset with the strategy. So most of us are looking for strategy, but unfortunately, we haven't become the person that can implement that strategy. Okay. So here's a really fun story from yesterday that just proves my point. So somebody's in our program. They've been in our program for a little while, actually for a while. And this summer, she said on Monday, I've been really stuck all summer. And she showed up on Monday's call and talked to me for 5 minutes. And she said, I'm paraphrasing, but she said something like, after a 5-minute phone call, like, and being stuck for so long, within 24 hours, she made 2 sales. And then, like, 1 minute later, she messages back and says, oops, I mean 3. Somebody just bought. This is somebody that had the strategy. And what she was missing was the mindset. And I want you to see, and she said, you got me thinking differently and into action. And that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow specifically. Okay. So I quickly realized from other clients with the same thing, it wasn't just the strategy, it was their mindset to incorporate the strategy. It goes hand in hand. I cannot tell you how important mindset is to me in my business specifically. I ended up getting certified by the Life Coach School. If some of you know Brooke Castillo, I got certified a few years ago, and I have really transformed the business coaching because I'm able to now go, wait, she can't even hear the strategy, or he's not even ready to hear the strategy because they still need to get like their mindset over here, or they need to get right. And that helps go so much faster. If you don't know you need mindset, or you don't think you need mindset, this is especially for you tomorrow. Okay. So Friday, I'm going to wrap up the entire week. This will be the day we end with 7-figure money mistakes. I'm going to be sharing my top 5 for the first half of the training. And then I'm going to be showcasing a few clients where I want you to see that this isn't just me, that I'm not just like this unicorn that's figured out how to delegate and hire a team and all the things. I want to show you what types of businesses and different people are implementing these strategies as well. Okay. So who's excited to keep devouring this week? Now, housekeeping, more prizes today. If you want your powerhouse bracelet or necklace, make sure you are talking in the comments. The person who won on Instagram yesterday for tagging us, and we'll do that again. That was fun. So anybody that tags us somewhere today on Instagram, tag me at Stacy Tushel. I'm going to give one of these away. The Instagram winner is Kimberly. Her handle is Messy Wonderful. So Kimberly, DM us, shoot us an email at info@stacytushel.com. Let us know silver, gold, necklace, or bracelet, and and your address, and we'll mail it to you. So have fun. Okay. Anything else? No, I think I'm good. And then today I'm going to go over well-oiled, which I know some of you are waiting for. So, here's what I'll say. Today's focus is on well-oiled systems, okay? And what I feel like is happening a lot in just the online entrepreneur, like online education industry, is we are so heavy in marketing. Everybody is teaching you how to make money, how to market your business, how to sell, right? And we are missing a massive, massive piece of that puzzle, right? The operations, the systems piece, the behind the scenes that nobody is talking about. But here's the crazy part. When you look at all the people teaching the marketing piece, I know lots of them, and I can guarantee you they are spending a fortune having somebody come in and implement and systematize, and they are focusing on that, right? It's just not their area that they're teaching. And I want you to understand that when you're looking at some of these people to say, like, I want to do what they're doing, and I want to make this much money, and I want to do, but you're only focused on marketing. That's the part of the reason why the stuff we've been teaching this week, it's just not being taught as mainstream as the other areas. Okay. Which is why it can feel like, how do I not know any of this stuff? Or like, maybe this is a little advanced, or like somebody yesterday said, like, am I too new to buy this program? Right. Because we think this is not stuff I've been doing, and I don't know if I'm ready to do it. But here's what I want you thinking about today when we're talking systems, especially. How do you get good at something? Is it by waiting to learn how to do it? Or is it by implementing it? Right? So many people are like, oh, I'm not ready for this yet. So I'm just going to wait, not get better at it, and then do it later when the business is messier. Do you see how this is a massive problem? Right? The longer you wait, the harder it will be to implement. If you're like, oh, I just need to grow the business a little bit more, I just need to make a little bit more money before I start implementing systems, before I start hiring people, before I start properly planning and picking a critical number, right? If you think you're going to wait, it just gets messier, right? The opportunity cost of not fixing this now is going to be massive. Okay, so today we are jumping into well-oiled systems. We're going to cover SOPs, which are our 7-figure systems, right? We're going to talk about how to transfer responsibility to other team members so you are not the person on call 24/7, right? Make them more accountable. And then last, we're going to talk about leveraged and lucrative, how to use what you have for quick cash. I think a lot of people that are in business right now, I think a lot of people are leaving money on the table. They don't know where to look for it. And when I show you a few things today, you're going to go, that's exactly where I need to focus on. Okay. All right. So let's move into SOPs. As a reminder, this is for standard operating procedures, also known as systems, processes, you name it. Okay. So what this means is step-by-step instructions that are carried out by your company in the same way every time. How many of your systems are just in your head? And every time it pops up, you do it differently a little bit each time, right? So when somebody messages me and they're like, hey, Stacy, somebody wants a refund. What should I do? It's like, well, what do you want to do? What do we want the system to look like? And once they ask me that question, they should never ask me that question again. Why? Because once we figure out, here's the refund policy, it stays. It's consistent every time somebody wants a refund. That policy, you dig out your files and you go, here's what we said. Here's the exact email. Here's what we did with this person. Okay. When you start making exceptions and having systems in your head and you pull out what you want to do differently for different people, right? That will get you into trouble because remember, people talk, friends talk. You have hopefully good word of mouth. So you've got friends in the program. You do not want to treat people differently. You want to, and if you're like, oh, but sometimes I like to scholarship or I like to donate, but then that's a donation system. That's a scholarship system, right? Okay, so I see lots of people having systems in their head. All right. If you're on Instagram, reminder, this is all going down in our Facebook group. We've got slides. We've got all this extra stuff that I want you to make sure you are getting over here specifically. Okay, so we've got to make sure by the end of today you understand like what would be the best systems to put in place first. Okay. So there are 3 areas I want you thinking. Your marketing is definitely a big one. When you use strategy, combined with consistency, you become a well-oiled marketing machine. Your results become predictable. How many of you, let's do this. 1 in the chat if you have predictable marketing, 2 if it's unpredictable. And what I mean is sometimes you post and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you post 3 times a day and sometimes you skip, right? And you have no idea how many leads are going to come in this week. Okay. So that's what I mean by that. Okay. Predictable or unpredictable. Yes. And I knew I would see lots of 2s because that is what people like. Again, it's like the systems in the head. What should we do today? Now, tomorrow. What should we do tomorrow? I don't want to have to think about any of those like silly decisions. I want to know, what are we doing? How are we doing it? Okay. So with this challenge, we had a predictable, like we predicted how many organic marketing, meaning we didn't pay for that lead to come into this challenge. We also had a predicted number for our paid marketing. Okay. So we were literally moving into this challenge knowing what we were going to get, how many, at what price point, who's going to be free, how many people were going to show up. We are dialing those systems in. Okay. Now we have forgot a few things. We haven't launched since March, which is crazy. We haven't launched since March and we were a little launch rusty. Like we forgot a few things and nothing you would have seen or noticed, but something where we're like, oh, we should definitely do that next time. We didn't do that. And we put that as the next time, like the system for next time, right? So what I want you to understand is your lack of consistency and or strategy in your marketing is costing you money, okay? So you know you need to do marketing, but you don't have a marketing system. That is not good. Number 2 is fulfillment. Who's in charge of keeping your customers happy? And is that happiness translating into spending more money with you? Okay. Are they telling people about you? And who's looking after the people that live left and trying to reactivate them, right? This is probably the easiest money. I should say probably the easiest money-making system that we have. We call these our sold out systems. It's easier to get people that already know you, like you, and trust you to buy again and spend more than somebody who's brand new that just doesn't know you yet, right? So most people think that marketing systems are the most important systems to actually implement first. Inside of our program, we have it. I mean, it's on demand, these two sections, but we tell people start with sold out systems, start with client delivery. When people see what it looks like in fulfillment, right? And then they start to market and bring new people in, those customers are happier. If you just have marketing systems and you start to bring people in, we had one of our clients bring in a ton of people, but the fulfillment systems were not quite ready for that amount of people, right? And I want to make sure you feel good about whatever number comes your way, right? We are only opening up the doors to 36 people this round, but we could handle 70. We could handle 100 because we have fulfillment systems, okay? I want you to feel good about really pouring your heart and soul into your marketing because you know how good your client delivery is, okay? Okay, so even though I did marketing and then fulfillment, I want you thinking I'm going to implement fulfillment first, then I'm going to go market and fill whatever I'm trying to sell, okay? All right. So just like you should have predictable rates for new leads, you also want to have a predictable rate for those that buy again or for those that renew, right? Which also takes the pressure off of marketing a little bit. How many of you feel like marketing just feels so heavy? Like there's so much pressure to market because you need those people to see you and to buy your new thing, right? Or to have new people see you and buy your thing. Say me in the chat if you feel like marketing feels heavy, okay? And here's what I will tell you. When you dial in your client delivery, what will save you, right? What will save your marketing when marketing doesn't go well, or you launch during something crazy, or there's like something going on in the world, or Facebook, it's like the day Facebook randomly gets shut down, or your ads get turned off, or whatever. What will save you is what you're doing in fulfillment because you don't need marketing to make more money, right? Imagine if you've literally kept every customer that has ever come your way. How many people are leaving you all the time. It's costing you a lot of money. Okay. All right. Next. Oh, so this is what I wanted to bring up too. Friends refer friends, right? And they talk about their experience. So it should be a similar experience. We talked a little bit about that already. Okay, next piece. What kinds of systems do you need? The third piece is operations. So I saved the last one, operations, because I know it is the most boring. But here's what I want you to know. Our operations optimization systems is all about automating. So you can do like my point is with this specifically, we'll do as much as we can in automation, right? Because it is the boring stuff that you don't want to do. So let's just automate it. But also because it's a system, right? We've made it as efficient as possible, which frees you up to work on the fun stuff. Some of you, like, I want to share this in the chat real quick. Marketing's number one, fulfillment's number two, operations is number three. What do you love the most? One, two, or three? Marketing, fulfillment, or operations? Okay. There will be some operations people in here, but it'll be the smallest number, I'm sure. And the idea here is automating some of these processes, the things you don't like. Like if you're like, oh, I love operations, but I do not like marketing. Okay, great. The more you systematize, the more you automate, the less time and energy you have to put into it. Okay, pretty good mix. Ones, twos, and threes. I love it. I love my operations people like going strong here. Yes, love it. Okay, so with that said, systems should not live in your head. They should not live in Post-it notes or papers around your office. How many of you are like, oh no, I have a system. It's somewhere. Or no, I've got a manual. Let me go find it. Like you don't even know where it is, right? But it's there. All right. So here's what I want to talk about a little bit today. Questions around, like questions to ask around systems. Okay. So first of all, what systems are costing you money? I should say like lack of systems are costing you money. Are you realizing like no marketing, no fulfillment, right? What is that? Okay. So which ones are costing you money? Write that down. Are they updated? Did you do this thing like 3 years ago and no one's looked at it since? Can anybody actually use it? And would it still make sense? If you are not using, yeah, sticky notes, I love it. If you are not using and updating, checking these systems, you're going to have a problem when somebody actually needs to use it. Okay. Next, how often are they tested? Could somebody jump in and do these no problem if somebody was sick? So our systems save us. When somebody goes on vacation, unexpectedly gets sick, a loved one passes away and they're out for a funeral, like those are all things that have happened, right? So when these things happen to me or my team, you, the consumer, right? You don't notice because our systems are keeping us going. So Bella, our social media manager, got married and then had her honeymoon. So she was gone for 2 weeks. Let me tell you, I did not jump in to do her systems. Somebody else did. Okay. And that's what's amazing is when it's a system, anybody can do it. Right. And I know a lot of times somebody leaves and then the owner's jumping in to fix it. Right. I don't want that to have to happen to you. How easily would somebody be able to locate them? Now, if they're in your head, guess how easy it is? It's real easy. They just text you. Guess how not fun that is for you, right? Some of you know. So if they can't locate them and they have to call you, text you, email you, Slack you, right? We don't want that. Next, who's in charge of inspecting what you're expecting? Who's in charge of inspecting what you're expecting? Now, if this is you, they might be, or do they have a manager? Just because you told somebody something doesn't mean it's being done that way. How many of you tell somebody something one time and then like a month later, you're like, that's not what I told them to do, right? What? They're not doing that? I told them to do it like 3 weeks ago. And then they're like, I don't think you did, right? Who's inspecting what you're expecting? This is part of it. Not that we have to hold their hand, but we need to have accountability. How many of you know you personally, the CEO, need accountability? Like that is one thing you wish you had as a boss. You need accountability. If you need accountability, your team for sure needs accountability, right? A lot of times that's just one of the missing pieces. Okay, next. How often are they audited for inefficiencies? You have systems that everybody's following. What if there was a better way? What if there was a faster way? right? How often are you asking yourself, could we make this faster? How do we take this from what we're doing right now at 10 hours a week, revamp it where it takes 5 hours a week? Or if you don't even have systems, you're not auditing systems, right? So this is a huge, huge area for opportunity. Okay, time to move on. Ownership. What I mean by this is people you've hired or contracted to work for you, right? To work with you, I guess. Are they taking accountability for those systems? Taking ownership of their results? Are they just checking boxes or are they trying to get you results, right? I just said to my Facebook ad manager something like, I want more leads. And he goes, no, I want you to make more money. And I was like, oh, I love that. Like, I love that that was the first reaction because, yes, of course, I want that. Right. But sometimes they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I've got you. I've got you views. I've got you leads. You had this many people in the challenge. It's like, but that's not really what we're doing. Right. It's not really what you're doing with your marketing. Good marketing is compelling people to buy. Now, I guarantee you have people right now that you have hired who are checking boxes. They promised you 4 blogs a month and you're getting them. But guess what? Those 4 blogs are doing nothing. You just did them because you heard somebody say SEO is important and that you need to do weekly blogs. So you're doing weekly blogs, but nothing changed in your bank account, right? How many of those people do we have? Okay, now, anybody watch HGTV? I used to watch it all the time. I'm not a huge TV person anymore, but I used to be obsessed with HGTV. Okay, now, if you ever watched a show where they're looking for a new house, right? And they share their wish list. It's like, okay, what do you guys want? And they're like, I want a 4-bedroom home. We need 3 full bathrooms. We need an open floor plan. We need like this most amazing master suite, the biggest walk-in closet with like an island, right? We want the backyard. We need to be in a good neighborhood with good schools and all the things, right? And then you say to the realtor says to the lady, okay, what's your price point? And then she says, we're looking to spend around 150,000, right? We call that delusional, right? It's like, lady, you're not getting all of that for 150,000. Like, here's what 150,000 is going to get you, right? Now, where I'm going to give you some tough love today is and imply that you are delusional sometimes is I will ask you, what are you looking for in a position? And you will give me your dream candidate of all the things you want, right? And then I say, great, what's the budget? What are we looking to pay them? And you're like, a little bit above minimum wage, right? And what I typically see the CEO do is they have way too high of expectations. They think, I hired this person to do my social media management and she needs my help. Like, why does she need to ask me for copy? Like, isn't she supposed to be doing that? Right? It's like, I don't get it. I thought this is why I was paying her. Right? And what we've got to understand is you've got 2 options when it comes to hiring. Okay. Option number 1 is you hire entry level, the lower end of pricing, and you train this person. You give them the tools they need. You mold this person and give him or her the love and support that they're going to need to really get the results you want. That's it. Lower end, you're going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting. Okay. Which is fine. It's just an option, but be realistic here. Okay. Now, option 2 is pay higher pricing on the higher end. They already kind of come with some bells and whistles. They've got experience. They know what to do. They've been doing it before, right? They don't really need you as much because they've done it. But here's where what most CEOs do. They merge the 2. They're like, I'm going to pay the lower end, but I want her to come with all the bells and whistles. Why does she need me to hold her hand, right? This is called delusional, okay? You are the $150,000 HGTV lady right now. We have to make sure we have very clear understanding of what we should be expecting. And I am not saying you can't have high expectations. Trust me, I have high expectations of people that work for me. Okay. But when I hire on the lower end, I'm going to give them all the tools, all the systems, all the training, all the support in my solid foundations 90-day online, like onboarding, right? So you want to ask yourself, like, what have you been doing? So there are 4 phases of delegation, okay, when it comes to transferring responsibility. So number 1 is follow my system exactly. It's like, here you go, right? I'm hiring this person to do this. I need you to follow this. This is step 1. This is probably somebody on that entry level position, or maybe somebody just brand new to you, okay? Instagram, I want to remind you, we are over in the Facebook group, Foot Traffic Operations, if you want to see slides and everything else. Okay, so that's stage number 1. Stage number 2, create the system and I will approve, deny, or modify it. Okay. So you're giving them a little bit more, but you still have the final say. Okay. So somebody that comes with a little bit of experience, you could say, hey, I'd love to see you present me with the plan for social media. Right. And then from there, I'll let you know if I like it or want to modify it. Make sense? That is phase 2. Phase 3, you let them make a decision and then we'll discuss it at our next meeting and finalize the official system. So, meaning if there's no system and they are presented with something, you can say in the moment, make a decision, and then tomorrow we'll discuss it and we'll actually create a real system based off of it. But you're still giving them another level where they don't have to call you and interrupt you. Okay. Phase 4 is I trust you to make the best decision for the company and create a new system. Okay. Now, think about the person you are trying to transfer responsibility to. What phase is he or she in right now? If you are not at a level of trust where they can make decisions on their own, but you didn't give them a system, you haven't asked them to make the system, you can see where there's a lack of confusion, right? And most likely frustration. Light bulbs? Anybody? Yeah. Okay. So I want you thinking about that. And yes, if you go in the medium income like range, you're going to get a mix of somewhere in the middle, right? They're still going to need some support and systems, but they probably have a little bit more experience. Okay. Now, are you treating each of your team members with an understanding of what stage they are in? Most people treat the people on their team just very similarly, right? Like everybody's being treated the same way, but really people that have been there with that, I shouldn't even say how long, because there's some people that come in and they just know what to do and they might go up that ladder to number 3 very soon, right? So what I used to do, and I bring this up because some of you might be doing it too, is I acted like they could make a decision and that I trusted them. But then I would find out what they did and I would kind of make it a big deal. Like, why would you do that? No, we would never do that. Like, we just lost all that money. Like, I would kind of make it not a pleasant experience, right? And I would make them second guess themselves. So my sister finally said to me, she's my general manager at my locations, my studios. She was like, if you want me to run this company and not interrupt you in the moment, you need to be fine with my decision, right? And she was right. So what we decided, and just to show you, I was not naturally good at delegating. It took her kind of yelling at me a little bit, treating me like a sister, not a boss, right? Treating me like that to say, this isn't working. We can't do this like this, right? And she was right. So what we decided was she had full authority to make the decision. And then we would finalize the system together. And I would not judge how she handled it in the moment. I would be grateful that I wasn't bothered during dinner with a phone call, right? Sometimes we just have to let go a little bit more. Okay. This takes time. This takes time. That was 14 years ago when we had that conversation together, right? She's now at a stage where she's creating new systems without me all the time. But it takes time. If you hire somebody and they've been here for 4 weeks and you're like, why is she not getting this? I don't understand. I feel like she should be making systems by now. It takes time. And most people go through stage 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So this is what I'm saying. When you're thinking, I'll work on this later, I'll get started with this later, you're just prolonging all of these things that we have to do for 4 months from now, right? Everybody feels like, wow, January is a good time to do this, right? I'll just start in January, start fresh. It's like, you'll just have 4 more months of bad habits. Start implementing these systems now, okay? It takes years. By the time you're ready, it is too late. I see people that want to just like, okay, now I'm ready to do this, or now I'm ready to sell the business. It's like, you are not in a place to sell your business. That can take years to systematize your business and really get it sellable. Okay. I want both of my businesses sellable, even though I have no desire to sell, because a sellable business, it's exciting to a buyer because it's not relying on the owner. Which, think about it, even if I don't want to sell, it makes it exciting to own a business that isn't relying on me and having the weight on my shoulders. Okay. The time is now. Okay. Now, okay. So I'm trying to think if I want to skip. I'm kind of not running out of time, but this is taking longer than I thought it would. I guess I will say this with the time being now, if you are thinking, like we had one challenger say to me, I've only been in business now for 12 years. When should I start working on this? And it was so odd to me because they were already successful. 12 years is a long time. Like that's longer than most businesses make it. And they still thought it wasn't the right time to do it. Every single person listening, do it now, right? Start putting this into place now. There is never a like I wish somebody would have shown me this kind of stuff on day one of my business to know how to set it up. Okay. So I will say you don't need all the systems done immediately, but as you do things you want to document. So as you have to fire somebody, go create a firing system. But if you don't have to fire anybody right now, why are you creating a firing system, right? So do things as they pop up and as you need them. Don't just think I have to do every system right this second. No, you document as you go. Okay, last piece, leveraged and lucrative. Now, this is definitely something for somebody who needs quick cash, but it's also for somebody looking for long-term success because you'll never stop asking yourself, how can we leverage what we already have? So this is actually my September masterclass. I'll be teaching in-depth in well-oiled operations next week. So I'm excited for those of the clients that are on right now. So we're going to talk about how to leverage your 5 key areas: time, money, your team, your best sellers, your best clients. Okay. So the one I want to zone in on today, because I cannot do an entire masterclass in this short time, is I want to zone in on your time. Your calendar and commitments have to change for you to step into becoming a powerhouse, right? This has to change. If your calendar looks the same as it did a year ago, 3 years ago, then you're probably getting very similar results. How do we change that? Your business is the way that it is right now because of what you've been prioritizing. Let that sink in. Okay. Consistently reassess every 90 days. Does my calendar reflect where I'm going? Right. And remember to be looking at the big picture when you're creating that. Right. So when you're creating your 90 days, you're looking at 90 days ahead. I want you to go, but what's the strategic plan? What does my same pager say? Am I sticking to it? Are those actions the thing that's going to get me there? Right? With good leadership and efficient systems, you start to see profits rise. Okay. Now, what do you need most in your business right now? What are you loving so far? What are you like, oh my goodness, I want to just stop and do this right this second? Put it in the chat. Okay. So I want to take a moment and share this exercise with you because this really, really helped me. So I got this from Simon Bowen. He taught me this and it really made me think differently, especially on my 3-year plan. Like I love having a 3-year vision. I love kind of just taking one more step back to see like where I really want to go to reverse engineer. So what you're seeing right here on the left is today. And then you're seeing the timeline of 3 years from now. Okay. So let's say starting with best, which means what is your ideal business situation 3 years from now? The best case scenario, what would it look like? And I want you asking yourself, how much income per year? How profitable is the business? What's my time look like? Right? We're here for growth, profit, time. Okay. So best case scenario, you might say something like, I mean, we all have our own definition of success, but we kind of know what everybody's shooting for, right? There's a high dollar amount somewhere in there. There's high profit margin. There's lots of freedom. Maybe you're working 3 days per week. Okay. Now, it's also possible that things do not go exactly the way that you panned out, right? The way that you want. So what would good feel like? Okay. So probably what you just said, but a tiny bit less. So maybe instead of 3 symbols of the dollar signs, there's 2. Maybe the profit margin is 20% less. Maybe you're working 5 days a week, 9 to 3, which still feels really good, right? You'd still be really happy, but that would be kind of like a good situation. Okay. Now, it's also possible things don't go well. What would it feel like to be in that poor range? Okay. And here I would say poor might be, you might be at high revenue levels. Like this is possible. I want you to feel this. You might be at high revenue levels. Maybe you're even at $1 million. I've seen poor $1 million businesses, high revenues, but high headaches. The profit margin is like 10%, which means you have to leave it in the savings account. It's not even enough to pull out. You're not paying yourself market value. The time freedom isn't there. You're working more than you should be. It's not completely lighting you up, right? I mean, I've literally seen people, successful business owners just want to sell, just get out of the business. Okay. The last piece, it sounds a little dramatic, but we put disaster. And we'll call it that because listen, I mean, of course, nobody wants to do this, but there also, when I see this, some businesses may be there right now. Okay. So for this, it's maybe either high revenue, no profit, high revenue, like negative profit, right? Or just low revenues, possibly break even, maybe spending more than they're making, right? You just have an expensive hobby. You're underpaying yourselves, or you've completely stopped payroll. Like I say, oh, this is dramatic. This is some people's business, right? Maybe you haven't paid yourself in a while. You can't keep people. You're either always firing or people are quitting. The turnover is just massive. It feels like a job. You're working 7 days a week. You're always on call, and there's no time wealth at all. There's no consistency with attracting new clients, retaining current ones, right? If you're thinking about what has been going on in the last 6 months, what line do you think you are on? Now, remember, that's just a 3-year plan. That's like where you're heading. That doesn't mean you're there right this second, but where are you heading? Okay. So it's green, yellow, orange, or red. Where do you feel? And again, there's no drama with this. This is just like day one. It's just matter of fact. It's like, if we don't make some changes, this is what's happening, right? If you are on the green line, right? And here's the thing, whatever line you're on, if you did nothing today, like where would you be going? And that's what I really want you to see. And I'll tell you this, most people are usually between poor and better. Okay. That's usually where some people are, right in the middle. It's not like way at the bottom, and it's not what they were hoping, but it's not bad, right? The question is, how do we get better than not bad, right? I want to encourage you to step into that powerhouse to think, why can't I get on the green? Why not me, right? So, how do we get on the green? This is back to day one. We showed you our model. We had you take an honest assessment of red, yellows, and greens. You've got to take that honest assessment, and you've got to start to turn those yellows and reds into greens. It all comes down to the plan, the people, the process, right? The what, the who, the how. Those are 3 things that need to work together. Now, if you had some really weak areas, that's probably why you feel this imbalance in your business. It's time to get you on that green line. Now, I'm going to quickly share, because I was hoping for Q&A and I feel like I'm running out of time. I'm going to quickly share Well-Oiled Operations, the program we put in place to help you get on the green line, get you there as fast as possible, and keep you there. I truly believe that I have the best operations program on the planet. And if you are interested, I would love to share very quickly what it's about. So say yes in the chat if you want to learn more. And here's the deal. If you liked this week, then I think you're going to love this offer. If you didn't like this week, I have no idea what you're still doing here on day 3. I'm a little confused. But that's okay. Now, we've been getting some requests since Monday, so I'm going to quickly go through this, okay? So stick around. I'll do some Q&A if I have any time left. And then I've got some really cool bonuses, and I'll share this too. This is a 6-month program that guarantees you to increase your profit margins while getting 25% of your time back, or we refund you, okay? More on that in 1 second. Now, it is our 3-phase well-oiled operations formula on demand. You can immediately start binging everything. Every pillar has its own training. Then once per month, I teach a live monthly masterclass going deeper on each one of these topics. So if you're like, oh man, I never go into portals, guess what? Like every month, I'm going to be coming on and sharing live, okay? So it's recorded and uploaded to your portal within 24 hours. I actually do September's next week. You can watch the videos. You can choose to listen to audios. You can read the transcribed workbooks. Whoever you are, whatever your preference is, we've got you. We even have an app where you can listen in the car or on a walk. Current clients, people are always shocked when I say that. We have an app. So as I created this myself, I asked, and I should say this real quick. I want to share Jose's story real quick. With Jose, we helped him save $5,000 per month in recurring expenses, okay? Like these are the kinds of results people are getting. Now, as I was creating it, I asked, how can we increase your chance of success? So during our time together, I'm going to be sharing all these things you'll want to create. And because I know you're busy, we've thrown in all of the things we tell you to make, and you're given permission to plug and play these in your business. So when you join today, you're going to get all of our plug and play templates and systems vault. It's probably our biggest selling feature. So this is our marketing systems, our fulfillment systems, all of our templates, our spreadsheets, checklists, like you name it. I can't even see. There's just so many on here. Can I blow this up real quick? There we go. Some of the things you're getting are same pager, our marketing machine, sold out systems, job descriptions, offers, org charts, team evals, performance improvement plans, the onboarding system, employee handbook, team meeting agendas, how to meet with a contractor, so much stuff. Somebody said, I love this so much. I made a copy, then another copy, then one more on a different drive, so I don't ever lose this. I'm drooling on my computer. I love spreadsheets, okay? You either love spreadsheets and this excites you, or you hate spreadsheets and it should excite you even more because you don't have to create them. You get to steal mine. Okay. Now, Ben says, well oiled resources are first class. You can hear his entire story at welloiledoperations.com. Karina said, Stacy's onboarding system saved me 18 hours per month. Okay. Now, we have two ways for you to get support when maybe you get stuck. Okay. The first way is rapid response support. Within one business day, you can ask as many questions as you want. And within one business day, you will get your question answered. Okay. We also have group coaching. So you can show up to one of our live group coaching calls that we offer every Monday through Thursday. These are all optional. It's just when you need support. These are hosted by me and my team, my dream team. So next week in particular, I'll be there Monday teaching the masterclass. And then I'm going to be coming back on Thursday to do a new team or a new client call. So I'll get to meet all of the new people joining as well. Okay. Next, because I believe your most valuable asset is your team, you'll have the opportunity to bring in up to 4 team members to join you in the program. And because of that, they're going to get access to the live calls. They're going to get access to the Facebook group, the portal, everything to help them. Some people buy the program for their team member and go in, get the systems, create them, help us build this in our business. Okay. So an all access pass to everything. I love this quote so much. I have to say this. The only thing worse than training your employees and having them leave you is not training them and having them stay. Yeah. Okay. Next, Camilla says you can't afford to not spend time on this. Now, she took us up on bringing her team member. You can see her here. You'll hear her full story. You'll get to meet her team member as well in that video. And it just shows you like how they're lit up, how they are on fire. Okay. Mel Abraham says, Stacy Tushel not only gets it, she lives it because she's done it. Now, have you ever bought a program and not used it? Like everybody, right? Now, it's easy to get lost when programs have thousands of members in them. Our program isn't like that. We cap our enrollment period to make sure that we are able to over deliver in our fulfillment. Okay. So you are going to get a bonus dedicated coach, somebody we call a client success manager. They'll be touching base with you on a weekly basis and will be your direct contact. You'll also have quarterly one-on-one calls with them. This is like next level accountability. And for those of you that want a community, we have a Facebook group community for members only to connect with other business owners in the group, as well as pod calls where we separate you based on similar revenues. So we've got a call where maybe they're a little bit newer, right? They're just getting started, and we've got more established advanced businesses on another call as well. Okay. And here's the thing, as a recession throws more and more at our way, you'll have access to a Facebook group filled with these incredible entrepreneurs. We have multiple 7 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, multiple 7 figures. It is a range of people. And that's why we have those pod calls to separate based off of revenue. Okay. This will be a massive advantage to you. Colin says, not only does Stacy have such helpful templates and processes that save me hours of work and headaches, but she also walks her talk and has built her own teams that run multi-million-dollar businesses. That was Colin Boyd. Now, our program is guaranteed to increase your profit margins while getting 25% of your time back. This is a 6-month transformational program set up with weekly action items and wins. You don't have to wait 6 months for results. Every module was designed to get you a win that week. So that's why when I talked about Susanna, within her first week, she added $30,000 in profit. She ended up making like an additional $200,000 over the first 90 days. Now, I have my bachelor's in business administration and marketing. And I believe our program far surpasses any college, university, any business type degree. This is truly your MBA right here. Now, I went to school a long time ago, but I looked at the cost of what a typical like Wisconsin state school would be and what it would cost to get your bachelor's, okay, in business. It's $42,000 to get a bachelor's degree right now in business, okay? MBA is 75,000. And here's what's crazy. A lot of these people are learning from people that have never had a business before, right? Every day somebody is paying that kind of money to learn how to build a successful business. I have clients who have their MBAs that say they've learned more from our program, right? And it's a fraction of the cost. So some of you are wondering, what is this? Can I afford this? Should I be in this? So you can get started with it's one payment of $9,800. Okay. And yes, we do have payment plans, but what I want you to notice is that it's less than one semester of college, and you will keep these skill sets forever and start making money. Like, there's no reason you can't be, Susanna, making money week one. The program could easily be sold for 25,000 or more. And when you get inside, you will see why. I see some of our clients in the chat. If you want to share anything about it, please feel free. Oh my goodness. She just said, my son's business tuition is 62,000 a year. Like, we had one lady say, what? $10,000? This is crazy. I'm like, it actually isn't. And when you see what you can make and what we've been able to do for our clients, it is like a no-brainer price. This is your MBA right here. This is true mastery. Megan says, since joining Stacy's programs, I've increased my revenue 5x while maintaining a 45% profit margin and only working 22 hours per week. We focus on those three things, okay? You're also going to be getting a bonus ticket to come to our leadership event next month in person. If you can't make it, I know it's soon, you're going to get access to the recordings of all of the content, okay? Now, here's what you need to know. We are only taking 36 students in our September class. I know for a fact 10 of those spots have already been taken. So that means we've got 26 spots left, okay? This is on the podcast. This is going out to our email list. This is everywhere. Thousands and thousands of people are going to hear this offer today. If you want to guarantee you are one of those 26 remaining spots, you can skip the line. Go to welloiledoperations.com/skip. Head straight to checkout and guarantee your spot right now. Because I can't guarantee if you get a consult scheduled for Tuesday that there will be a spot left, okay? If you have questions or you need payment plans, go to welloiledoperations.com to book a call, okay? So questions or payment plans. Ooh, I want to share this. I'm really excited. I forgot about this. So we are sending this out. Where are my notes? Here we go. Okay, so we are sending this out. Physical box in the mail, shipped to you. US and Canada, free shipping. If you're international outside of US and Canada, we just ask that you pay for the shipping, okay? So this box we call a profit pack. This is a limited time bonus, only going out to people that purchase from now until Sunday, okay? Here's the best part of this box. This thing right here. This is, if you're like, I don't go into portals, I don't watch courses, this is our manual, okay? So this is all of our systems and templates. You get to keep this. Physical form, full color. This book will stay in your office, and anytime you're like, I have an interview today, I've got to get interview questions right here, okay? What are you missing, and how easily could you get the templates, the systems, how to create your org chart, right? How to create a system, what our marketing systems look like. Yes, I love that book. Absolutely. I love this. Okay, so anybody that's buying before Sunday, you're getting this box mailed to your house, this inside. There are only 26 spots left. I'm going to stick around and take some questions. If you have any, start posting in the chat. I will say, Melina said, before Stacy, we were at $32,000 months, and now we're at $87,000 months and counting. How many of you would love to see growth like that? Okay. So start having the questions come in the chat. I'm going to stick around for a few minutes. So what you're going to get, the 3-phase 9 core woo trainings. I say woo, not to confuse you with like woo-woo, well-oiled operations, okay? Plug and play systems and templates vault, digital, plus you're also gonna get the actual workbook. And then rapid response support. Any questions you have within one business day will be answered. Group coaching live Monday through Thursday. You'll see me, I'm in there 3 times a month, okay? All access pass for 4 team members, a dedicated coach, Facebook group community with pod calls designed for people in your similar revenue, and then the profit pack right to your door. Okay, I love it. Laura says, I love this. Laura, thank you for posting this. Laura just wrote, I have had a successful business for 27 years and I had no idea what I was missing for systems, tools, and strategies. I'm on track to double my business in the next 12 months, and I've only been in Woo Powerhouse for a few months. Highly recommend. Laura, thank you for sharing. So good. Okay. So good. Somebody just said, I've been in it for a couple of weeks and it has been amazing. The support is next level. I love that our clients are here still soaking this up. One of the things we believe is rinsing and repeating, right? They are here because they want to go, what am I missing? What is next level? What do I still need? How could I refine just a little bit? The refining is so much more important than like the next new strategy. Like, what if you just implemented the strategy you already knew just a little bit better? What kind of results would you be getting? Yes, I love it. Okay. Yes, bringing the tools with the education. So the marketing systems are a lot of it is what are we doing on social media? How are we repurposing? What are we tracking with their KPIs? So one of our templates is our KPI Weekly Tracker. So every Monday on my team weekly meeting, which will give you the agenda for what that looks like, I then look at the team's KPIs, 3 to 5 numbers that every person is tracking. We've given you every person on our team what their KPIs are. So this is what I'm talking about. Somebody said they copied the drive. Some of these spreadsheets we just put in Google Drive. So you could make a copy and just clone it and put your stuff in. So all of a sudden next week, Monday, you just show up to your weekly meeting, knowing what to talk about and have a conversation about what to track, right? So that's what I want you thinking about as you're going, what do I need? I don't even know what to do. We are going to show you what systems to put in place first. Okay, this is a great question. The timeline is 6 months, right? What if we aren't able to implement in 6 months? Okay, great question. You will never implement everything in 6 months. I've been working on this for 20 years in my business, right? Because as soon as you work on something, you'll break it, have to redo it. Here's the best part. This doesn't go away. You will have access to all of the templates. All like the modules in here are transcribed. The workbooks, like this is not like plug and play answers. This is like the whole thing. So you will get to keep this. So I always say to people, I hope we run into each other 10 years from now. You're not in the program anymore. And you're like, oh my goodness, Stacy, we've been using your systems and templates. We still use your interview questions. We use your job description when we hire. Like, I want you decades from now to be still using this long after you are paying us to be in the program. Okay. Now, we've had people that stay with us for years. Okay. I don't want that to intimidate you. They stay because they get value and they love it and it makes them a lot of money, right? When I show you somebody like Megan who just said, I 5X my revenue, I did this. Megan has been with us for years. It's not that surprising because she is getting so much out of it. She doesn't want to leave. But could you make your money back? I mean, look at Susanna, 30,000 week 1, 200,000 in 90 days. Do you think she's thinking 9,800 just was a little too much for that program, right? Even if she never implements a thing ever again, completely worth it, right? Yeah. So go to welloiledoperations.com/skip. If you were like, I need this, I am in, and I want one of those spots before they're taken. If you could put the link in the chat, that would be amazing. So welloiledoperations.com/skip. If you have questions, if you need a payment plan, if you need to work something out with the team, they have options they can share with you. Just go to welloiledoperations.com, click that link, and it says book a call. Okay. So good. Yes, back to basics, great reminders. And that's the thing. It's like, so what happens when we get through the 9 pieces? Well, we keep going over and over and over. I am 20 years into business, and that is still what I do. I am refining the plan. I am figuring out who the people are to get me to the next level, right? I am figuring out what systems need to be audited, need to be rewritten, need to be more efficient, right? And as I do it, I just go back. I'm already good at all of these. I wasn't in the beginning, but I'm getting good at all of these. But now I want to master all of these, right? It's just another level of refinement, which is why people will sometimes go, I want to stay in this environment to refine because the accountability is next level. So your client success manager, touch base every single week. How are you? What do you need? If you're like, I'm struggling with hiring this week, she's going to say, okay, great. Did you know we have this, this, and this, and this? Here they are, right? Links to them. They are literally your like in-person directory teaching you where to go, what to show up, who to talk to. We are holding your hand through this program. Okay. Can you describe how to add your team into the program? Okay. So your team, when you join, we have an onboarding form. Or let's say you don't have a team right now. Let's say you only have one person. You're like, I do not want that person in there right now. I might be firing them, so I don't want them in there. I'm glad I just said that. We literally had somebody come in wanting to fire somebody, but brought that person in so she could never ask questions in front of them. Don't bring somebody in you don't think should be in this program, okay? So that you think you're going to be letting go of. So you can openly ask, okay? So, with that said, you'll get to bring 4 people in with you that are on your team. You cannot bring another business owner in, okay? They need to be there asking questions about your business specifically. Now, with that said, you can fill it out in the onboarding form, or let's say 3 months in, you actually like maybe you're coming to us because you want to hire, so you don't have anybody, but you're hoping you will hire somebody in the program. You can just message your coach and say, "Hey, I just hired a VA. I'd like to get her in. I want her to start learning these systems." So then we'll just get her email. We'll send her her own email welcoming her, showing her where to go, how to get signed up, how to get registered, get in there. And there's no additional cost to bring them in. So imagine if you're like, "I'm busy, I don't have time." Great. Send them to a marketing call. Send them to a fulfillment call with our fulfillment director, right? Imagine how you can multiply your time and get our team, which is a multiple 7-figure business per year, get them to share. Okay. We decided what to have them watch or learn it all with us. Ooh, good question. So that's up to you. If you just say to them, "Go watch everything, consume everything you can. I want you like in everything, go for it." If you're thinking, "I'm going to watch this stuff and I'm going to tell them when I want to watch and what I want them watching," you could do that. So you might stay one step ahead, watch a video and decide, "You know what? I need this person watching that this week," right? You might like, I even do stuff where like I buy programs for my team all the time. And one thing I do, because I am paying them to come in and do all this stuff, right? I'll go 7 minutes in, Bella needs to watch this video. I don't want her watching 7 minutes of something she doesn't need. But if I can say, "Bella, at 7 minutes, they talk about this on social, and I really want you to know what this is," I'll shortcut it for her. So we can help you figure out how to do that, or you can just say, "No, come in and start binging." You might also say to them, 1 hour a week. That's what we usually tell people when they come in. For our guarantee, obviously you have to do the work to get the results, right? So we just say, if you can watch one call per week and implement one implementation, like an hour of implementation, there is no way you couldn't increase your profit and get some of your time back, 25% of your time back, right? So I would just say that to your team. I want you watching 1 hour, and maybe you decide. We also have roadmaps. So if you come in and you're like, "I just need to make money. Like, I really just need to make money," or you're thinking, "I just need to hire, I just need to build up my team." We have separate roadmaps to say, "Watch these." So you could talk to your coach about which roadmap would you recommend for me. And then you could give that to your team to say, "Watch these too." I like doing it with the team because it holds me accountable. If I say to the team, "We're all watching module 1 this week and we're talking about it next week," guess what happens? You actually watch it because the team is going to show up and say, "What did you think?" They want you to talk about it. Yeah. Yeah. The 1 hour a week is doable. If you're like, "Oh, I don't have that time," then you are not ready. Okay. And it mostly mean your mindset isn't ready, right? I had somebody, I audit all of our sales calls. And I shouldn't say all of them, I audit some of them. And I was watching one and somebody said, "Oh, I have zero interest in going into a portal and watching anything. Like that does not interest me at all." And I was like, as somebody who makes a lot of money and has been running a business for 20 years, I pretty much watch an online course or a program that I'm in almost on a daily, almost on a daily basis. If you can't find 1 day a week, you do not have the mindset yet of like stepping into that powerhouse. I need you to be like understanding that you need to be committed. So right now, if you know you are interested in this and you want to book a consult, type in the word consult below. That was helpful yesterday. If you're in, like, you're like, "I'm buying this, like, for sure I'm in," type in woo. I want to see. And I just want you to know that I really truly believe like every business needs this. And if you've bought something before, this will blow. Like, we've had people join other programs, then come to us thinking, "I don't know if there's going to be enough for me to learn because I've already taken one of these programs." And they're like, "This is nothing compared to the other programs I've purchased." Right. So I am so passionate about this and I am so excited. Whether there's somebody like that's just getting started that wants to just implement these systems and do it right, or somebody who's been around for a couple decades that's like, "I should have done this already. And this is finally the time." This is for you for sure. Okay. I have to run. I will be back tomorrow for a bonus training. I will stick around to answer questions that you have as well. So tomorrow's a good time. I think it should be like a lighter training. It's a bonus day. We're talking mindset. I'll stick around to answer some Q&A. If you are interested, I would not wait. 26 spots. Thousands of people are listening to this right now. It'll be on the podcast shortly. It'll be blasting out on our email list. Ooh, that's the last thing I'll say. The emails that I wrote that start today talking about well-oiled, there is education and training in those emails. I personally wrote them myself. They are not from a copywriter. It is me teaching in them. If you want those emails, go to maximizeyourmargins.co, sign up. You'll get the confirmation email of the challenge, and then you'll start getting today's emails through Sunday. There is gold in those emails. Save those. Okay, have a phenomenal rest of your day. I am excited to welcome some of you into Well Oiled. I will see you soon. Bye, everyone.